Grace, I'm sorry. Luna's pregnant with my child, boyfriend stammered. It's me who owes you both. I love you, but I have to give her a name. You're her best, you don't want people calling her baby a bastard child, right? I stared at him quietly, as if I'd only just met him. 2 years together, and I hadn't noticed when he started to rot. He grabbed my shoulders again, frantic. Don't worry, you're still the one I love most. Even if I marry her, I won't abandon you. You're so considerate, so understanding, you'll get it, right? Huh, he could actually spit out something that shameless? I smoothed my collar. Since my heart had been handed to the wrong person, I might as well send him one last grand gift. When he finally shut up, I drew a slow breath, widened my eyes just enough to let the tears glint. I understand? My boyfriend slept with my best and I'm supposed to understand? Boyfriend squeezed my hands. I'm sorry, babe, it's all my fault. We'd been dating 2 years. I trusted you both, and you already have a kid together? You'll marry her but won't abandon me, you mean I should be your mistress on the side? Jason let go and scratched his head. I didn't want this. It was the last department dinner, I drank too much. Luna was worried about me, she said she was taking care of me for you, walked me home, and I mistook her for you. Listening to his full of holes excuse, I almost laughed. She was worried about my boyfriend? Took care of me by sleeping with you? Generous of her, and you sure didn't hesitate. I couldn't hold back a snicker. Don't talk about her like that. Jason frowned. She's just too kind. And I was wasted. His defense of Luna was blatant. Thinking back, every time Luna and I clashed he'd always sided with her, my dear best. And I'd never questioned it? How stupid. When I didn't answer, he gazed at me with gooey affection. She said she knows I love you. She just needs the title so the kid won't be stigmatized, she won't stop us from seeing each other. Their shamelessness rewrote my definition of decency. Thank heaven we weren't married yet, it wasn't too late. She wants the title, so I get demoted to secret lover? I become the shameless other woman? I sneered. How kind of her. Since she's so kind and you're so responsible, mind if I spread the word? Let everyone come worship your saintliness? Jason didn't flinch, he only narrowed his eyes. Grace, don't make a scene, or don't blame me if I really drop you. I'm making a scene? He'll drop me? He still thinks I'm terrified of being dropped? Does he think he's the dollar bill itself? I don't want anything filthy. I swung my arm in a wide arc and slapped him across the face. He staggered back, a crimson palm print blooming on his cheek. Sick bastard. Looking at you disgusts me, scram, cheating scumbag. Jason steadied himself, rubbing his burning face. Finally his mask cracked. It wasn't on purpose. I told you, I thought she was you. Aren't you at fault too? You never come to department mixers, if you'd shown up that night, none of this would have happened. Even with zero expectations left, the accusation still squeezed my heart after 2 years of devotion. You have the gall to blame me? You know exactly why I wasn't there. All hope was gone, only disappointment remained. That night I took your mom to the hospital. Her health is fragile, you're always busy, so every appointment lands on me. Jason froze, memory crawling back, embarrassment flickering across his face. Sorry Grace, I forgot. He never remembers what I give, but always cherishes Best's few empty compliments. While I stayed up all night at the hospital with your mother, you were in bed with her, you make me sick. Now that I think about it, I handled most of your workload, what were you so busy with? Busy dating her, apparently? I was an idiot to trust you both. Consider my 2-year devotion dog feed from now on, stay away from me. Disgust was all that remained. Jason, angry and ashamed, struggled to keep his expression in check. Calm down, Grace. I know I wronged you, but what's done is done, I'll make it up to you. I didn't believe a scumbag would actually compensate me, but I would claw back every cent I'd spent. I shot him a sideways glare. Skip the sweet talk, pay back what you owe first. For 2 years I bought your clothes, your shoes, I fronted your mom's medical bills. I kept Excel sheets, total is 160 grand. I'll email you the itemized invoice. After the wire transfer we can chat about compensation. Jason sighed theatrically. Stop this, Grace. I know you can't live without me, demanding money is just your way of clinging on. But Luna's pregnant, I can't abandon her. Screw your clinging, can't you hear human speech? Pay up. He stepped closer to grab my hand, I dodged. Relax. You know her dad is bank, she promised that once we're married she'll pull strings for my promotion. Luna and I will look out for you at Sterling. I couldn't even recognize the girl who once adored him, what had I liked? His delusional confidence? I rolled my eyes. How many people flattered you into this narcissism? I said we're done. You're a cheating scumbag, she's a fake innocent man-stealer, perfect match. Crawl away and don't pollute my air. I narrowed my eyes. Or are you pretending to be stupid so you can dodge the debt? If so, I'll just drop by her father's bank and tell our little story. Jason's mouth fell open. He'd always believed I'd never leave, after all, I'd once given him everything. I knew he didn't love Luna, only her father's connections. He probably did love me a bit, and never pictured a real breakup. But who cares what he thinks? Jason stared in disbelief. Grace, how did you become like this? You actually keep spreadsheets? I never realized you're so materialistic. Do 2 years of love weigh less than a bit of cash? I brushed the hidden camera clipped to my collar, plenty of footage. Too tired to waste more breath, I fired off, you dare talk about love? That's 160 grand, not a bit. I pulled every payment record, clean data. I never spent a dime of yours, so what right do you have to call me materialistic? You're the parasite who lives off women, disgusting. I exhaled, lighter already, and wagged a finger in his face. 1 hour. Money hits my account or I show up in person, and I guarantee the tale will be box office gold. People adore drama, once I take the stage, her dad will be headline news across the whole bank. The family name will trend nationwide. By then your dream of becoming the mighty bank's golden son-in-law might just crumble to dust. I know him, I know exactly what he treasures. That sum is pocket change to me now, but I'd rather toss it in the river than let him keep a cent. I didn't feel like talking anymore. I pulled out my phone, lit the screen, tapped the clock, and arched a brow at him. Last word spoken, timer starts now. My voice rang bright, almost cheerful. Jason frowned, staring in confusion, as if he couldn't understand what I was smiling about, why I wasn't reacting the way he'd pictured. Wasn't I supposed to break down in tears, fall to my knees begging him not to dump me, willingly stay his secret side piece and keep waiting on him? He opened his mouth to add something, but I'd already spun on my heel and walked off. Half an hour later I looked at the $160,000 deposit, nodded in satisfaction. So the cheating scumbag really does care what his future father-in-law thinks of him, that's absolutely delightful. I switched off the notification, savored the image of him nursing a brutal wallet ache while he transferred the money, and kept backing up the video I'd just recorded. Yes, I'd come prepared. 3 days earlier. The admin room printer was clacking like a machine gun. While I, company workhorse, squatted on the floor gathering Excel sheets Harris had scattered in a tantrum, I heard a familiar coo through the conference room wall. Jason's amazing, this promotion is basically in the bag, my best, finances Luna, voice syrupy enough to rot teeth. Through the blind slats I saw Jason's hand sliding up and down Luna's waist. The designer handbag in her grip, forest green, matched the receipt I'd spotted in Jason's jacket pocket days ago. I'd actually thought that, after 2 years, he was finally going to give me a birthday present. Turned out it was for her. Pathetic. I shoved the Excel stack into the shredder. When I turned, Jason was coming out of the conference room, all suited up, identical to the working late selfie he'd WhatsApped me the night before, only now with a lipstick stamp on his collar. After work I asked Jason to dinner, While he was in the restroom, I opened his phone and found his hotel bookings with Luna. I'd treated him so well for so long that he couldn't even be bothered to delete the confirmations. He genuinely didn't fear me finding them. I drifted numbly to the end of the shift, unsure what to do next. Too humiliated to head back to the sublet and face my roommate's ridicule or pity, I just wandered. Late night at the 7-Eleven, I stared at Luna's fresh post, 9-photo grid, center shot of 2 overlapping hands, the girl's ring finger flashing a solitaire diamond in front of a BMW logo. Caption: "Thanks for the surprise, hubby." At Jason. A few minutes later the post vanished. I knew she'd put it up just for me. So it wasn't only the bag, there was a diamond ring too. In 2 years he'd never given me a real gift, yet he'd splurged on her. It was like someone had pried open Pandora's box. The night before he'd been whispering sweet dreams about our future, and now the whole world overflowed with proof of his cheating, blatant, unhidden. I snorted a laugh, not even sure who the joke was on. "Hey, you buying or not?" the clerk rapped on the glass counter. I scanned my last $20 of Afterpay credit. "I'll take this one." I punched in the date of their hotel hookup as my number combo. Heading out, I bumped into someone smelling of pine, Adrian, the programmer I sublet with, holding an umbrella, a plastic 7-Eleven bag in the other hand. "You forgot the door chain again." He glanced at my swollen eyes and pushed a hot cocoa into my hand. "Even if you're upset, go home early. It's late and it's starting to rain. Come on, I've got the umbrella." Clutching that warm cup, I finally let the tears fall, hiding my face so no one would see. Back home, maybe sensing I couldn't talk, my roommate didn't pry, no mockery, no pity, just a warm towel. I shut my bedroom door, pressed the towel to my face, and at last sobbed uncontrollably. Thank God I hadn't moved in with Jason, otherwise I'd be the one frantically apartment hunting with no place to cry. How much more pathetic would that be? I gave myself one night to fall apart and piece myself back together. I planned how to record evidence, then totaled every dollar I'd spent on Jason in the past 2 years. Feelings can sink without trace, money will not. Maybe heaven heard me. In a twist worthy of theater, my Powerball hit $100 million jackpot. Hands shaking, I double-checked the numbers until fireworks exploded in my skull, my heart pounding like a drum. True love, all right. The ache of betrayal evaporated, as if it had never existed. I even started feeling grateful to Jason and Luna. After all, they'd supplied the winning numbers. Bless their hearts. I took 3 days off, cashed the ticket, and stared at the $80 million balance after tax, then felt the urge to thank Messrs. Sterling and Sterling all over again. It took a full day to reset my head. Though I still hadn't wrapped my mind around being filthy rich, any lingering gratitude toward those two had vanished. Clearly I was fated to strike gold. Fate kept me broke only so the scumbag couldn't leech a cent. The instant I decided to dump him, sky-high fortune swooped in and kissed me. Following my plan, I bought a digital voice pen, then, to be safe, added a hidden cam. I had money, I wanted the whole arsenal. On the 3rd day I met Jason and collected his absurd monologue. Neither gadget was a wasted purchase, best return on investment ever, and then some. My coworkers are going to love his heartfelt performance. Too bad I no longer need side hustle cash, otherwise I could start a channel with that clip and blow up overnight. A train wreck this spectacular? Who wouldn't binge watch? I give my own acting high marks. People say a guy 3 sheets to the wind can sob you into sympathy. Me? 2 parts tipsy and I can break my own heart for sport. Every cell in me was doing the jackpot conga, yet I still sold heart-shattered despair like an Oscar contender, pure gold. Luna started to speak, then stopped, her tea-scented words dancing on air. Getting my own money back counts as venting? And you say I'm in a bad mood, why do you think that is? She twisted the hem of her shirt between her fingers and gave me the world's most pitiful puppy eyes. I know you like Jason too, but we're genuinely in love. I kept my distance from him for you, for our friendship, yet how can love be controlled? Grace, don't worry, when we get married you'll still be my absolute best. I flicked her hand off my sleeve. Don't touch me, you're disgusting. You just recast yourself as the other woman who stole Best's boyfriend, only you wrapped it in lace and gave it a curtain call? Every coworker in the open plan office morphed into raccoons in a melon patch. Eyes glued to black monitors, fingers hammering away, too busy gossiping even to power the screens on. Grace, how can you slander me? I'm your best. Luna turned her teary gaze toward Jason, who was hurrying over. Jason, say something, Grace, stop bullying Luna. I know you've always had a crush on me, but I don't like you. Throw however many tantrums you want, I still won't pick you. I've always loved only her. Guess the slap across the face I gave him last night had done its job, scaring him out of stringing me along while keeping Luna on the side. Watching the two of them gaze lovingly at each other set my heart racing, not with pain, but exhilaration. For the 2 years Jason and I dated, he'd forbidden me to go public, claiming an office romance would derail his promotion. No one in Sterling even knew we'd been together. I'd figured these clowns might flip the script on me, so I'd come armed with receipts. Their live performance was the perfect lead-in, how thoughtful. Once the video dropped, no spin cycle in the world could bleach them clean. I clapped my hands. We're all coworkers here, and we usually get along. Today I'm treating you to a little entertainment. I pulled out my phone and dropped the pre-recorded clip straight into the company-wide WhatsApp group. Jason watched, panic flooding his face. He finally sensed something slipping beyond his grip. Raised in an orphanage, I'd starved for love. When college bullies cornered me, Jason stepped in front and promised to protect me. From that day on I catered to his every whim, cooked, cleaned, built his Excel models, accompanied his mom to the ER. I'd spoiled him so thoroughly he assumed a few sweet words would always bring me to heel. Now it hit him, I might never come back. He yanked out his phone. The moment the video loaded he turned chalk white, eyes wide with disbelief that I'd actually walk away. Forget promotion, his job itself was on the chopping block. Bloodshot eyes fixed on me, he grabbed my arm. Delete it. Delete it right now. If you don't, I swear I will never take you back. No one else will ever want you. I curved my lips in a lazy smile while he melted down. Used to be me sobbing while he watched, stone cold. The roles were reversed now. When I'd enjoyed the show long enough, I replied sweetly, keep dreaming. Only a dog would stay with you. And why delete it? Every coworker here has already seen it, I ended with a playful wink and a bright grin, radiant, as if I'd scrubbed off years of grime and stepped out of shackles. Jason couldn't fathom it. Shouldn't I be heartbroken? Why did I look like I'd just hit the jackpot? His confusion didn't matter. The anonymous office group chat tower was already skyrocketing. Since when are Jason and Luna such people? Total scumbag, and a kept one at that. Where does Jason get that ego? I'll just give her a title, my heart's still yours. Does he think he's the CEO of a romance novel? Gaslighting game strong, trying to slap the other woman label on Grace. That fake innocent man-stealer has zero shame. Is Jason blind? Luna's looks aren't even in Grace's league. You guys don't get it, Luna's daddy's a bank. Dude wanted wife and mistress under one roof, classic. Scummiest move, blowing Grace's cash and refusing to pay it back. Skipped his own mom's hospital checkup for a team lunch, classy. I scrolled through the messages, then glanced at Jason and Luna, both scarlet and ready to combust. Perfect. Lunchtime. I whipped out the gift bags I'd prepared ahead and handed them around. Come on, celebrating my escape from a cheating scumbag and his fake innocent sidekick. Sweets for everyone. Felt almost like handing out my own wedding favors. Whoa. Chocolates from Senraku? One box costs a couple hundred. You're giving each of us a whole box? Big Sis Grace is fierce, a coworker squealed. Think nothing of it. We're coworkers, after all. I booked a private room at La Dolce Vita next door, my treat this afternoon. I won't be back to work, I'm off to enjoy life. I laughed. Time to punch out for good. Mountains of money were waiting, no point wasting daylight here. I stood, packed the few personal items I cared about, and waved everyone toward the elevator. Couldn't resist a parting shot. You two aren't shameless enough to tag along, right? I didn't invite you. Luna snapped, voice dripping acid. You're an orphan, where'd you get that kind of cash? The place is 300 ahead. Don't act rich and get stuck with the bill, I'm not bailing you out. Relax, your concern is noted. And don't worry, I saved a special surprise just for you. Jason stared, eyes storm dark, pain, regret, maybe fear. I knew what scared him, my metamorphosis, my slipping leash. He glanced at Luna, expression even more tangled, he'd never seen her wear this unkind mask before. Luxury private room, premium dishes, vintage wines, coworkers spammed their Instagram stories nonstop. Watching those posts, I pictured Jason pacing his office, nerves sprouting like weeds. Don't worry, the encore hadn't even started. After I paid the tab, I cabbed to the dealership, picked a beginner-friendly ride, fast-tracked the paperwork, and drove straight to the mall. Back when every cent counted, I'd never touched luxury. High time to sample the experience. At the boutique counter, the sales associate didn't judge, she greeted my street market outfit with warm enthusiasm. I stared at a handbag priced at tens of thousands and couldn't spot the magic. Maybe the appeal wasn't quality but the price tag itself, owning the idea of expensive. While I marveled at how easily the rich parted with their money, a familiar grating voice sounded behind me. Grace, you're shopping for bags too? Jason bought me one just the other day. If you need one, I can lend it to you for a week. You've lost your job now. If you can't pay your credit card bill, your credit score will tank. Luna's practiced, sugar-dipped fake innocent man-stealer act sent a shiver down my spine. She even wore an expression that screamed, I'm kind, I'm generous. Clearly they'd slunk out of Sterling, they couldn't face the office anymore. Yeah, Grace, Jason chimed in. You probably shouldn't come here anymore. People look down on window shoppers who never buy. I sighed in helpless exasperation, like a ghost that refuses to cross over. Since they'd chased me here begging to be slapped, I wouldn't bother being polite. Well, the cheating ex-boyfriend and my former best who moonlights as the other woman, fancy meeting you too. Aren't you supposed to be home resting for the baby? Still have the gall to wander around? You, the one who isn't loved, is the real third wheel. Luna forced out under the stares of shoppers and salesgirls. Grace, take some advice, Jason already broke up with you. He's never buying you another designer handbag, so just leave. If you're not buying anything, you'll just embarrass yourself. Ma'am, allow me to show you our next bag. And rest assured, there's no pressure here, guests are welcome even if they don't purchase, the salesgirl chirped, volume perfectly pitched for everyone to hear. The murmurs around us paused, then melted into muffled laughter. Smart girl, I liked her style. I beamed, pointed at a tote and said, no need for the spiel, this one, that size. Perfect for a grocery run. I'd browsed long enough, might as well experience the buying part. Certainly, miss. That bag is $160,000. I'll ring it up now. While she went to swipe my card, I turned back to the cheating scumbag and the fake innocent man-stealer. Again, this scumbag never bought me a single purse. The money he blew on you was probably borrowed from me. I watched Jason's face turn slate gray and smirked. He only paid me back yesterday, after all. By the time I signed the slip and walked out, Jason and Luna were still frozen in shock. My shopping day had just begun. Brand name, no name, if it looked good and felt comfortable, I took it. Down in the garage I ran into them again. Unlucky, yet oddly fortunate. Luna strutted over, craving another slap. Grace, we're going your way, let us give you a ride. It's impossible to hail a cab here. Daddy just bought me a BMW, you've probably never sat in a car this pricey, right? I swept a cool glance over the pair, snorted, and couldn't be bothered to reply. Jason's eyes reddened under my disdain. He glared and snapped, Luna's being kind, offering you a lift, and that's your attitude? Apologize to Luna, now. His gaze clung to my face, almost hopeful, waiting for pain or conflict, as if my heartbreak could prove I still loved him. My back-to-back splurges must have rattled him. A hardcore narcissist like him would go insane once he realized I was loaded. I laughed softly, shook my head, and regarded the two clowns. Without a word I pulled a key fob from my purse. The lights of the Porsche 718 beside me flashed. I got in, slammed the door, and glided away. Two jaws hit the concrete in my rearview mirror. Watching Jason's cracked expression felt better than champagne. Back at the sublet, my roommate happened to be home too. Thanks for the warm towel the other night. Also, I'm probably moving out, let me treat you to dinner tonight? Adrian rose from the living room sofa, voice tinged with urgency. Why the sudden move? Because of your boyfriend? Money problems? Tell me, I can help. I blinked. I'd never mentioned a boyfriend. How did he know? How did you know I had a boyfriend? Anyway, he's an ex now. Great. Adrian blurted, eyes lighting up. Excuse me? He gave an embarrassed laugh. Sorry, not gloating, I just thought he treated you badly. You cooked meals and packed them for him every day, but when you were sick he never once checked on you. Observant, aren't you? But no need to apologize, dumping him felt amazing. Come on, let's feast somewhere expensive and celebrate. Adrian stayed put. I stocked up on groceries. Why not eat in and try my cooking? I considered it, a home-cooked farewell sounded nice. I refused to let him slave away alone. We stir-fried side by side and discovered an unexpected rhythm, almost fun. At the table Adrian said between bites, actually, there's been a misunderstanding. I tucked into spicy chicken, hot, aromatic, addictive. This guy could cook. What sort of misunderstanding? I own this place. I never intended to rent it out. But you showed up suitcase in hand, claiming you'd answered an ad for a roommate. I think you knocked on the wrong door. I was stunned, property here cost a fortune. I'd assumed we were fellow broke proles, turns out I was the only clown. Then why'd you let me stay? He flushed, ears pink. Love at first sight. Later I realized you had a boyfriend, so I kept my distance. Now I was the flustered one. Tall, gorgeous, loaded, sweet, and culinary gifted, this guy. Before I could turn him down, he added, I'm not really a programmer either. I doodle small games sometimes, you just happened to see one. And, the company you work for? It's mine. I prefer a laid-back life, so I don't run it day to day. My brain short-circuited. A titan had been beside me all along? Him falling for me on sight? Science just collapsed. I managed a polite smile. Thank you, for liking me. But I'm not ready for a new relationship anytime soon. Someone as incredible as you deserves better. No need to reject me now. I know you're not dating for a while, we'll shelf that. First, why move? Nothing dramatic, I'm buying a penthouse. I exhaled, relieved. That's wonderful. Need help with the down payment? I could, plenty. I've got enough, I cut in, afraid he'd escalate. He chuckled and pivoted. Chosen an area? I can advise. Advice from a mogul? Yes, please. Not yet. Safe, comfy, potential upside, budget under 20 million. Now it was his turn to gape. Grace, low profile much? You just leveled up the difficulty of courting you. Without waiting for my comeback he said, there's a new development that checks every box. I bought a unit there last week, I'll take you tomorrow. After touring Adrian's pick, and scouting a few more, I concluded his recommendation won, hands down. I signed the papers, kept a few million liquid, and locked the rest into CDs at several banks. At my spending speed I might never touch the interest. Time to learn how to burn money properly. One afternoon, paperwork done, I headed to lunch, and nearly collided with Jason and Luna. Luna greeted me with a smug smile. Impressive nerves, Sterling's group chat was still roasting the boutique incident, yet here she was, beaming with pride. She flashed me a fake smile and invited, Grace, we've set the date, 2 weeks from now. You have to come. You're my best friend, and I want your blessing. I honestly don't get where she finds the guts to keep poking me. You really want me there? Aren't you afraid I'll invite the whole reception to the show? Her pretend grin froze, her fingers secretly pinched Jason's arm, signaling him to rescue her. I didn't feel like listening to him bark, so I cut in, control your other woman and stop letting her provoke me. Relax, I won't crash your wedding. I wish you two a smooth ceremony, stay toxic together for life and don't ruin anyone else. I stroked the freshly printed title deed in my bag, happily picturing Jason's face when he saw it. But the timing wasn't right yet, I had to wait until after they tied the knot. What if he ran back and hassled me? 2 weeks later at Riverdale, I ran into them again. What kind of cursed fate is this? I'd finally finished setting up my new place after half a month. I finally had time for the Seabright trip I'd been craving, only to bump into these two mood killers. Same flight, luckily I was in business, they were in economy. After we landed, the pair swanned over, smug as ever. Since they insisted on waving their presence in my face, I didn't mind flexing a little strength. After all, they were now locked in marriage, so I was safe. I shared their cab to the hotel, and when Luna fake sweetly offered to book my room, I handed the concierge my black card, the most expensive suite you've got. Check-in took seconds. Without glancing at their expressions, I rode the elevator to my presidential suite. Truly, the joys of the rich are beyond the poor's imagination. Lying on the bed felt like floating on a cloud. I'd have to ask the front desk for the mattress brand, my place needs one too. At dinner, Jason predictably came looking for me, wearing the same old devoted mask. Grace, how have you been? I've been swamped, so I didn't reach out, but I still can't forget you. Stop. Feeling bad now that I'm rich? Digging for numbers? Afraid my fortune tops Luna's? Scared you chose wrong? How can you think that of me? Grace, you know I'm not that kind of person. Spare me. Every word from you is just barking. Keep watching, you'll figure out exactly what you lost. I raised my hand to have a server escort him out, then heard a familiar voice. Fancy meeting you here, Grace. I'm vacationing too, what a coincidence. Coincidence? Take a guess whether I buy that. Jason spun back like a beast whose turf had been invaded, pointing at Adrian and snarling, who is he? He calls you Grace? You dumped me for him? The whole restaurant turned to watch. I pressed my temples inside in exasperation. I had to speak up, sir. You cheated on me with my best and even knocked her up. You've already had your shotgun wedding, and this is day 1 of your honeymoon. Now you claim I dumped you? I run into a male friend and you sling mud? Are your values this twisted? Feeling the crowd's scorn shift to Jason, I grabbed Adrian and beat a hasty retreat. Couldn't handle the drama. Jason, crimson-faced, slunk away under the guests' contemptuous stares. Over the next few days, Adrian paraded our wealth in front of them so thoroughly we practically made it rain in the street. The display was so blinding the couple couldn't even finish their honeymoon. They packed up and fled home early. 2 calm months passed, and the moment I stepped out of Hawthorne I unfortunately ran into Jason again. He rushed over, arms open for a hug. I dodged in alarm. Haggard, he croaked, Grace, are you still mad? I was wrong. I'll divorce her right away, come back to me. Without you nothing feels right. I had to admire his shamelessness. Let me guess, no one's doing your Excel for you and work's a mess? Your mom's sick and you have to escort her to the hospital yourself? Must be exhausting. Luna's princess temper means she won't cook 3 meals a day? Or maybe you're the one cooking for her? Pacify her when she's mad, flatter her when she's happy, surprise gifts on random days? I finally crawled out of your hell pit. Why on earth would I jump back in just to burn myself to keep you warm? Each sentence smacked him until the last trace of color drained from his face. Just then Luna hurried up, clutching Jason's arm as she glared at me. Grace, what are you doing here? Did you come looking for Jason? Before I could retort, I heard a voice approaching from behind. Vance, wait. There's a package for you at the guardhouse. I turned to see security jogging over. I thanked him and took the parcel. You live here? Subletting? Luna's face darkened, probably guessing something. I couldn't be bothered. Security answered for me. Vance is an owner. No units in Hawthorne are listed for sublet. At those words, Luna and Jason looked ready for a thunderstorm. I ignored them, said goodbye to security, and walked off. After a distance, I heard a sharp slap, followed by a roar. It's all your fault, you bitch. You seduced me. Now I've lost my job and Grace wants nothing to do with me. She's loaded, and I gave her up for you? So he's already out of work. Splendid. As for Luna, her turn should come soon. After all, during the years we were best, her family's extravagant yet hush-hush spending far exceeded what her father's position could support. I filed an anonymous tip a while ago. Results should drop any day. Her cushy life is about to collapse. In the parking lot I spotted a tall, handsome man leaning against a car. Who else but Adrian? I had business nearby. Saw your car, mind giving me a lift? Glad to. The past is past, why not give the future a shot? With money I can't spend in 10 lifetimes, what worries could I possibly have? Thanks for listening to today's story. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it? If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with friends. We look forward to reading your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more gripping tales. See you next time.